Elon Musk will be using his authority as auditor of all the government agencies to use NSA, and cyber commands within the Pentagon and the NSA. He will be auditing the defense industries, but he will use it to spy on the rest of America's tech companies in order to retrofit his AI technologies, his supercomputers, his processing systems of his computer. So, in other words, Elon Musk is going to abuse the system. Definitely. Most definitely. I already been talking in the shadows with the most advanced intel agencies globally, and this is what they believe. So this is not just me coming up with conspiracies. This is the vibe in the shadows globally. This is what nation intels believe. So I'm warning the American corporations like Google, Facebook, Windows, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia to watch out, because Elon Musk will be hacking your supercomputers, and he will be espionaging your archives of your technologies to reverse engineer it for himself and to prop up his stock shares. There's lucrative deals within the defense industries when it comes to AI. And so Elon Musk will be auditing the Pentagon tech companies and also the CIA. Like Amazon has an account. Amazon has the archives of the CIA in their supercomputers. So these supercomputers are the basis of the cloud for the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Pentagon. Google has supercomputers that have cloud information that these agencies, these government agencies depend on these cloud computers, networks, in order to fulfill government agency responsibilities. Meaning the bureaucracy of the FBI department, the bureaucracy of the CIA department, the bureaucracy of Central National Intelligence Department, the Defense Department agencies, they all need these cloud computings. And they're all provided by government private tech companies. So Elon Musk, there's been a lot of talk in the shadows that he's going to use this auditing new administration that Trump is opening up for him, this new agency that he's going to be the auditing authority of all government agencies to manage their budgets. So he's going to use that excuse to audit the intel agencies of America in order to have access to the cloud informations in Google's, Microsoft, Nvidia, Facebook. In order to have access to their cloud computers, Elon Musk will abuse his position to spy on their computers as far as the tech companies, what they have down the pipeline when it comes to their technologies, what these companies are developing within their own companies. Elon Musk is going to do corporate espionage in order to prop up his tech company and to boost his shares. I've been the victim of corporations spying on me, because I deal with the most advanced photon technologies. I deal with the most powerful computational systems of engineering, classical computers with quantum computers, and utilizing smart signals with qubit analog digital waves, even to neutrino oscillational analog waves. That I'm working on those type of theories for the advanced communications of AI into the future. So the government's been been encrypting my Google One account, and so the government knows I'm highly compartmentalized in a deep state. I'm highly compartmentalized at the top level. I rank at the top as the most advanced physicist and theologian and engineer in these capabilities. I'm also doing technologies for electric cars and electric car batteries. And I do research with directed energy weapons and nuclear weapons. I'm working on doing a lot of research on these topics, so the government keeps a close tab on me. So Google is entrusted to to take care of my archives. Google has the designation to take care of my archives and guard it from any intrusion. So Elon Musk will use his authority under Trump to spy on Google and to corporate espionage any advances of my technologies, for he can boom and warp and advance his capabilities, Elon Musk, of his AI technologies. So he's going to try to steal my technologies. Elon Musk using Trump and the authority that Trump is going to give him. That's why Elon Musk was so head over heels, jumping up like a sick little childish kid on stage when Trump gave him the position he's going to give him in his second administration. Elon Musk thinks it's a windfall for him to espionage my technologies from my Google One cloud. So I warned the CEO of Google, the board members of Google. I'm warning y'all. Beware for Elon Musk. NVIDIA, CEO and board members, I'm warning y'all. Beware of Elon Musk. Microsoft, Windows, guard your supercomputers. Beware of Elon Musk. The same for the owner, Zuckerberg. Beware of Elon Musk with your supercomputer clouds. As far as Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, and all the defense contractors, beware of your intellectual property from Elon Musk espionage and reverse engineering. Because Elon Musk is going to use his authority to audit all these agencies, government agencies, in order, because Trump will give him clearance. Trump will give him national security clearance to have access to all your computer clouds, all your supercomputer clouds. Elon Musk, Trump will give him national security clearance, so Elon Musk will have the ability to spy on all your corporations and to espionage your secrets and try to reverse engineer it for his corporations. That's why Elon Musk was so head over heels over Trump, giving $1 million a day for petition signing, donating to Trump's campaign. Elon Musk used his computer geeks to have backdoor bots in order to flood the Latino communities, to brainwash them with pro-Trump propaganda as they stream videos of Trump. Elon Musk targeted the Latino communities, populations of North America, citizens, to stream pro-Trump propaganda videos in order to get 46% of Latinos to vote for Trump. That's how Trump was able to win, because he basically used his supercomputers and his engineers to backdoor Google and YouTube, and they do this without no trace of any encryptions. So it's like an invisible way through a backdoor through supercomputers to access and spy on Google's clouds. That's what Elon Musk did. And I work on this. I know how this works. Google already knows my brilliantness. They contain my intel. Google One is my archives, and it's highly compartmentalized. So Google knows I'm telling the truth. The owners of Google, the board members, they all know. They've been entitled by the government to have responsibility of my archives of intel. So Elon Musk used and abused his tech company to insert streaming bots of pro-Trump videos throughout the country for Latino communities. And that brainwashing of Latinos with pro-Trump, flooding them with pro-Trump videos, got Latinos to vote for Trump. And that's how Trump won. And in return, Trump is going to make Elon Musk a new agency just for himself to audit all the government agencies. And Elon Musk is going to espionage the defense contractor companies and the tech companies. He's going to use, because he has access now to audit everything, all of the government agencies. He has access. And Trump is going to give him authority to spy on all corporations as a national security interest of his administration. So Elon Musk is going to have unfettered access to all of y'all clouds. They're going to use the CIA, the NSA, the cyber commands in the Pentagon to hack all the American corporations' supercomputers. And Elon Musk is going to be overseeing this operation. Elon Musk is going to be seeing this operation. I apologize for the background noise. I have a dog, and he's always making noise. So if you hear background noise, it's my dog. I apologize. So getting back to the topic, Trump is going to give Elon Musk authority, defense national security clearance, to use all the cyber command agencies, defense, like the CIA, NSA, cyber commands in the Pentagon, to spy on all American corporations. And Elon Musk, I've been hearing this through the shadows globally of sovereign nations and their intel forces, of shadow intel forces. And this is the chatter that's been going on in the world, in the shadows. And so Elon Musk will be using his authority and his clearance, his national security clearance that Trump has anointed him with. And Elon Musk will be using it to spy on American corporations and to espionage our technologies in order for he can become the most powerful tech company on the global stage. So Amazon, guard your computers. Google, guard your computers. Nvidia, guard your computers. Zuckerberg, guard your computers. And protest. Go to Congress, go to the Senate, and protest against Elon Musk having this capability. Definitely Google, because I developed the most advanced nuclear research, weapon research on the world stage. And Elon Musk doesn't have clearance for that, because my sovereignty is global. As not aligned with my research and development, the White House doesn't even have clearance, because this is an international sovereign issue within the United Nations. And the United Nations is hollow ground. It belongs to the international community. It doesn't belong to Washington, the headquarters of the United Nations building in New York. And my non-aligned issues as a researcher and developer of nuclear weapons, how to defend the world for nuclear weapons, that's sovereign. Not even the White House has authority for that, to govern it or to spy on it. And Google knows what I'm talking about. So that's why Trump almost got arrested at Mar-a-Lago when he took archives after he left the White House like a bandit. He almost got tossed into prison because of this non-clearance espionage from the White House when it comes to my research and development. I do it on behalf of the United Nations. I do it in conjunction and a good efforts with working with the Secretary General of the United Nations. And the United Nations has their own spy clearance of intels. In other words, the United Nations Diplomatic Corps, the one that I'm setting up in the United Nations, has clearance to every nation, or will have clearance to every nation's secrets within their secret agencies throughout every government on earth. So we will be the most advanced intel agency on the world stage, the United Nations Diplomatic Corps that I am trying to initiate with Antonio Guterres. And the White House doesn't have oversight over it or clearance to spy on this type of intel. So let you be warned, Trump, and let you be warned, Elon Musk. They have no clearance or jurisdiction to spy, because then y'all will be infringing on the nuclear umbrella to shield all nations from nuclear destruction. That's why the position I'm seeking within the United Nations is Senior International Diplomatic Security Advisor on these topics. I will be proposing this to Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, to create a diplomatic corps that has access to all the countries' intel archives within their SCIFs in regards to shielding all nations from nuclear destruction. So it will be the most advanced intel agency on the world stage within the United Nations International Diplomatic Corps, and I'm the senior advisor of this effort. So Trump, you took archives to Mar-a-Lago, and you would not be forgiven for that. You will be prosecuted eventually. And if you try again to spy on my archives with Elon Musk, you will be sentenced and tried at The Hague for undermining this effort. Let y'all be warned. Let y'all be warned. I don't take this lightly, and I don't take it lying down. And I don't bend over for nobody. And it gets worse. It gets worse. So I've been doing a lot of talking in the shadows with nations' central intelligence agencies. And it gets worse. It gets real worse when it comes to Elon. Elon Musk will be using... Give me a minute. My dog is walking, making noise. It's interrupting, it's creating background noise. Let him settle down. Sit down, Bernie. Sit down. Lay down. Lay down, Bubba. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. All right. I apologize for the interruption. So it gets worse. It gets worse. Due to my critical issues and topics within the United Nations and the efforts of my diplomatic corps that I am initiating with Antonio Guterres to applying this Intel Diplomatic Corps to deal with nuclear mutually assured technologies to shield all nations from nuclear weapons, will be having clearance. It's voted on by the United Assembly of the United Nations. If it gets voted on, we will have clearance to every nation's central intel agencies and their archives to their SCIFs. In order to deal with mutually assured survival technologies, we will have the authority to and the immunity to access any nation's archives of intels in order for us to maintain awareness of nuclear proliferations. And that gives us access. Once amended by the Assembly, it will give us authority to have access to all nations' central archives of intel and their SCIFs of highly compartmentalized intels. So let me get back to Elon Musk. It gets worse when it comes to his corporate espionage ambitions. It's not only in America. He's going to use his Starlink satellites to spy on every government's tech companies and to try to reverse and corporate espionage foreign companies of all nations so he can speed and advance his companies of tech, whether it be in the auto industry, whether it be in the Neuralink company that he has, whether it be in the Starlink, whether it be in the SpaceX ship rocket company he has. He plans to diversify and create more tech divisions under his corporation. But Trump is going to use him with Starlink to corporate espionage every nation's tech companies globally. So you start to see why Elon Musk jumped up and down on stage like he was in love with Trump, adoring him, because the power that he will gain, Elon Musk, when it comes to his corporations. So since the White House doesn't have authority to access my Google One, neither does, I don't give authority, I give permission. You have to have clearance through me to have access to my Google One. And I don't give Trump the access clearance. I will never give him the access clearance. He's a danger, not only to America's national security interests, but abroad. That's why when he went to Mar-a-Lago with archives of highly compartmentalized reports that he took and stashed away in the bathroom and on that ballroom stage, that's why the FBI raided, and he almost got to prison for life on the topic. Because the White House doesn't have authority on these issues. The United Nations is solely responsible for the authorities of these technologies when it comes to nuclear umbrellas to shield all nations from nuclear weapons. So this is, as negotiations continue communications between me and Antonio Guterres, I'm proposing to open up a diplomatic corps of Intel, International Senior Diplomatic Advisors, and I'm the director of the Corps of Intelligence of the United Nations. That's the position and the office department within the United Nations that I'm negotiating with Antonio Guterres within the United Nations to deal with safeguarding all nations from nuclear destruction. So the White House doesn't have authority to access my archives if I don't give them authority to have access. I gave Biden authority, President Biden, I gave him authority. He had clearance, but Trump will never have clearance. He's a national security threat to America and abroad. Trump will use Elon Musk to open up companies and to launder money into his crypto company. So Trump is a corrupted racketeer. He's a grifter. He will and deal with the order to deal with anybody that's willing to invest in him when it comes to money. He'll sell out national secrets. He'll undermine anything as long as he can get rich out of it. And that endangers my nuclear umbrella and the research that I'm doing to propose to the nation to shield all nations from nuclear weapons. I don't give Trump authority or access to my Google One. Neither do I give Elon access. If they do hack into my archives, they are to be sent to prison for life. America doesn't have jurisdiction. I'm a sovereign diplomat, and America doesn't have jurisdiction over me. I'm an international sovereign diplomat, international senior diplomatic security advisor. That's the position and the agency that I'm proposing to Antonio Guterres to be under the umbrella of the United Nations National Assembly. And that's why I want to make everybody, as far as every country on earth, permanent members of the Security Council. So you start to see the broad authority of sovereignty when it comes to diplomatic corps that I possess. And I got a feeling this time around Trump will be up to his own games trying to corporate espionage intel reports and hide him any chance he gets. Because to him, it feels like he's getting rich off of it. And so, throughout the world, the chatter in the shadows, everybody's chatter throughout throughout countries throughout the world, the spy agencies feel like Elon Musk is a danger not only to American tech companies when it comes to espionage, corporate espionage, but the world in every country's tech industries throughout every nation on earth is going to get hacked by Elon Musk. And Elon Musk he's been caught saying that he's going to reverse engineer these capabilities of these corporations' techs throughout the world by spying and hacking using his Neuralink satellites to shadow mine your computer clouds of nations abroad in order for he can take the technology and open up different divisions of companies under his umbrella. That's what Elon Musk has in mind. He's a danger, not only to this country, but every country abroad. And as a diplomat, I'm going to rein them in to face justice once and for all. So I'm bringing this intel to the attentions of sovereign leaders abroad. And we're going to have a coalition to abolish Starlink for this reason. Within the United Nations, Starlink will be dismantled. The satellites will be turned off. The Starlink satellites will be turned off. We will petition the United Nations. I will reach out to Antonio Guterres within the United Nations National Assembly to put legal pressure to extradite Elon Musk to stand trial at The Hague. He interferes with the national security interests of the international community when it comes to guarding secrets that might jeopardize the world from this nuclear umbrella that I'm researching and developing. So for that reason, and trying to espionage global tech secrets from private companies abroad, the leaders are willing to defend their companies and their national security interests. That's the impression I've been getting in the shadows of foreign leaders abroad. Trump is also a threat when it comes to intel. He's willing to sell any intel of highly compartmentalized reports to any corporation that's willing to listen to him. That's how Trump plans to get rich with Elon Musk, is to sell secrets that would benefit them when they go back into the private sector from being public officials. That's why Trump was about to be tossed into prison for life by stealing classified, compartmentalized reports You gotta understand, what I'm negotiating with the United Nations is hollow ground. It's sovereign. The intel is sovereign. It belongs to the United Nations solely. It doesn't belong to Washington. It doesn't belong to the White House. It doesn't belong to the Senate. It doesn't belong to the Congress. It belongs on hollow ground, international hollow ground. Not even the White House has presidential immunity, like the Supreme Court said, that Trump has presidential immunity as a president. No, he does not have authority, Supreme Court, on these intel diplomatic topics. Neither does your Supreme Court have authority over these international diplomatic issues. It's beyond your pay grade and beyond your jurisdiction. You have no authority to stand on these hollow grounds that we call the United Nations. So yes, Supreme Court, Trump doesn't have immunity to take highly compartmentalized reports and espionage them for his corruption. That's not a presidential act that has immunity. It's beyond the White House pay grade and their sovereign territory for them to have access to these classified papers. So I will be looking to prosecute them at The Hague if they keep on encroaching. Let you be warned, Supreme Court Justice. Trump doesn't have immunity on these topics. That will be the decision of the United Nations Unanimous Assembly voting how to prosecute Trump and extradite him to The Hague to stand trial. And that's why I'm calling for all sovereign countries internationally to be permanent members in the Security Council of the United Nations. And Supreme Court of America, you don't have grounds to argue or to judge on these topics. You don't have the sovereignty afforded to you. So let me clear up any misunderstanding with the Supreme Court justices of the United States. Trump doesn't have authority in these acts as President of the United States to have access to the international security of the global order within the United Nations. He doesn't have clearance for these reports, highly compartmentalized. He doesn't have the right to spy on me. He doesn't have the right to take archives or highly compartmentalized when he goes back into the private sector or when he's in the Oval Office. If I don't give the White House clearance, they don't have clearance to my Google One. And when it comes to the national security interests of the National Assembly members within the United Nations, we will try him at The Hague for endangering the national security interests internationally when it comes to me providing this nuclear umbrella to shield all nations from nuclear weapons. That's highly compartmentalized. It's beyond the pay grade or the territory of the Oval Office. So he doesn't have official immunity to encroach on me. And for that reason, he will be extradited to The Hague along with Elon, Musk, and they will stand trial and be convicted and face justice. And there's nothing you can do at the Supreme Court of the United States. Y'all don't have sovereignty to give an opinion on these topics as Supreme Court justices.